today, Governor Ron DeSantis, he issued a statewide stay-at-home order. Now, the governor believes that the coronavirus started spreading in his state during Super Bowl weekend in February. He's here now to give us an update. Governor, let's go through specifically here what it is, what this order means for the average Floridian. Obviously, you can go to the drugstore. You can go pick up groceries. Tell us what you can and can't do.
Yeah. Well, hi, Sean. So Southern Florida is about 60% of our cases. They had been under these measures for a couple weeks. We expanded it statewide when the president expanded the guidance to 30 days. You know, we said, look, the country is paused. We've got to defeat this. And so I felt it was prudent to extend it statewide. You know, we don't have it running rampant in every corner of Florida, but I thought it was the prudent thing to do at this juncture. And so, yeah, you can do essential businesses, essential activities. You know, beyond that, we're asking people to stay close to home and try to avoid social contacts with other people. That's really how the virus spreads, through close contacts outside. Now, obviously, in the household, it can spread, but if you stay in the household, then it's not going to get out in the broader public. So that's what we're looking to do, and we've had a really strong message and taken strong measures to protect our seniors. Immediately when this crisis started, we went in and locked down nursing homes. We issued strong regulations. We've sent all nursing home workers and assisted living facility workers N95 masks, and we've asked seniors from the very beginning to stay at home as long as they can, and then if you have a significant underlying medical condition, to do the same. That is, we're finding, Sean, with this, the lower the ages in terms of the infections, the better the overall outcomes. The more it starts to skew older, that's when you get more hospitalizations, and unfortunately, that's where you get more fatalities.
All right. The Super Bowl, because I was down there for the Super Bowl. I interviewed the president for the Super Bowl. That was 2 months ago. Why are you just suspecting now that that might have been a point where a lot of people may have been infected?
Well, so, you know, I think you remember there wasn't a lot of testing being done in February. And so we started ramping up testing probably the second week of March. We've now done over 70,000 tests, I think, in the state of Florida. We hope to hit 100,000 next week. That'll be one for every 200 Floridians, which is about what South Korea did, and they were lauded for their testing. So I think when you look at this, you know, we're seeing increases in cases in Florida, but we're seeing huge increases in testing as well. I don't think it was that there just weren't cases on February 28th. I just think the testing wasn't where it was. So I do think it was there. I think that you had other types of...
Yeah, I'm not interrupting, but I just want to get a couple other points. So you do have mandatory quarantine for people coming from other states. You have some checkpoints here. You've also taken a lot of hits for spring break. You want to comment on all three of those aspects? Well, right. So was it a mistake?
Yeah, so the spring breakers were here, Sean. At that time, the CDC guidance was you could have groups of 250 people. So when they're showing the things for the one day in Clearwater, that was the guidance. When it changed to 10, you know, I banned all groups of 10 or more, beaches or otherwise. And so that was what we did. But those folks were just here. If I could have snapped my fingers and had them go back, I would have. But I can tell you, in terms of how this is spread in Florida, you know, we think it's Floridians who traveled internationally and brought it back, international travelers who came to Florida, and then people from New York who've come, and then Floridians who've gone to New York City and brought it back. Those are the main ways where this thing really took root in Florida.
And you're saying it's still self-quarantine, and you're checking people when they come in, their temperature's being taken real quick?
Yeah, if you're from a hot spot, New York City area, New Orleans, we ask that you self-isolate for 14 days. We just want everyone to be safe.
All right, Governor. All our best to our fellow Americans in Florida, especially our friends at the villages, because the older people, they're a little more vulnerable. It's America's friendliest hometown, not so friendly right now, but we will overcome all of this, and our best to everyone in the state. Thank you, Governor.